Hi, I'm JD, and what we're going to be doing today is just simply doing order of operations with absolute value bars. So if you would, see if you can try and do these on your own. Alright, hopefully you didn't have a problem reading them, because this one's a little smashed, just because that's the way I write. I write really big, and then I don't have enough room for the other problem, so I just squish it. Squishy, but whatever. Alright, so what you want to do is order of operations. And what's the order of operations? Right, it's please excuse my dearest Aunt Sally. Now, P stands for parentheses. Now, parentheses is very broad term, right? When you have parentheses, then you have brackets, and then you have the little squiggles, which are braces. You work inside out when you're dealing with those. Now, for the most part, there's other symbols that are like parentheses that are what's called grouping symbols. So you have like square roots. Square root would be a grouping symbol. You solve, you simplify underneath the radical first. You also have a fraction bar, right? You simplify the top and the bottom of the fraction before you divide it. Then also absolute value bars. Here we have absolute value bars. Now, what I've seen some students do, just change these all to positives. So 5 plus 2. Well, you don't want to do that. Another issue that I see with students is they take this negative sign and they distribute it. Well, order of operations tells you to do parentheses first, or grouping symbols first. So you do what's inside the absolute value bars first. What's 5 minus 2? 3. And I'm going to keep that in absolute value bars. Minus, what's 2 minus 5? Right, negative 3. What's the absolute value of positive 3? 3. Bring the minus sign down. What's the absolute value of negative 3? What's the definition of absolute value again? Yeah, it's the distance away from 0. So how far are you away from 0 with negative 3? Well, 3 units, right? So the answer would be, for that, would be 3. So then you have 3 minus 3, which is what? Yep, just simply cancels out, which is be 0. Now let's look at this. Order of operations states that you have to do parentheses first. So you do what's inside the absolute value bars first. Alright, so you have the absolute value of 2 squared minus 1. What are you going to do first? Order of operations tells you have to do the exponents first with inside the parentheses. So what's 2 squared? 4. And what's 4 minus 1? 3. Let's bring that down. So you have 3, negative 3, absolute value of positive 3, plus, now it's tempting to change these right away to all positives, right? That negative 7 change to a positive, then just do 7 plus 3, which is 10. You don't want to do that. Simplify what's inside the grouping symbols first. So what's a negative 7 plus 3? Right, that's going to be a negative 4. And don't drop the absolute value bars until you simplify it and actually solve the absolute value of that number. What's the absolute value of 3? Right, it's just 3. And what order of operation is done between that negative 3 and positive 3? Right, multiplication. Whenever you have a number right next to a grouping symbol, you can assume that's multiplication. So that's negative 3 times 3 plus, what's the absolute value of negative 4? 4. Alright, then just the order of operations. Am I going to do this first? 3 plus 4? No, good call. You're going to do the multiplication first. What's negative 3 times 3? Right, that's negative 9 plus 4. And what's negative 9 plus 4? Right, it's negative 5. Alright, that's it.